Hi paper crafters, this is Colette. Today I'd love to show you how to make this triple easel card using a Touch of Gold collection from Kaisercraft. So just zooming in there a little bit so you can see it. That's our first easel and our second easel and the third one with the butterfly. So let's get started. Now to make this card we need to create 3 separate easel cards, and to make those card bases I'm going to be using Kaisercrafts decorative die nesting square bracket. This is a fabulous die set to have in your collection. As well as doing labels, it makes these great card bases and has a whole host of other uses. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one out of the 3rd size down to show you how I create these. Now in order to do this I have got a piece of paper here. This is the Kaisercraft white cardstock, which cuts really well with the decorative dies, and I've cut this to a 4 inches by 8 inches, so 4 inches by 8, and I'm going to go ahead now and actually score that at 4 inches. Now remembering that we always actually fold towards the dent because that fiber's been broken, I'm going to fold that. Now it's really important that you actually use your bone folder, especially in these structure cards. So that's been folded, but you can see it's not really closed up. Now Kaisercraft do have a great duo of paper creases that you can get, so you can use either of these to give you a really nice crisp fold on these cards. So now when you actually look at that card, you can see it's actually closed up beautifully, whereas before I folded it by hand, it didn't have that crispness. So now I'm going to go ahead and use my die to make this easel card. So just grabbing my big shot here, I'm going to use tab 2, and I've got my metal shim down and I've got my acrylic plate down, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually run this through. And just to kind of show you here what I'm doing, I'm going to use just some of the Kaisercraft decorative tape. This is a really nice one that's just been released with all the hollies and berries, but I'm using this just to secure my die in place because I have here at the top my fold line, and I'm going to position this so the 2 little notches on this die, excuse my plaster everyone, bit of a paper cut there, I'm going to just hold that down with this paper tape. So just so you can see there, I've just got the 2 little notches just below that fold line, and then I'm going to run that through the Big Shot machine. So here's the clunky noise. Okay, so now what you'll see is that I have my die. I'm going to remove the paper tape here, and I'm going to put that on the top of my Big Shot for later. And you can see it's actually cut through beautifully, as the Kaisercraft dies usually do. And what we've actually got is we have got a little card, because it didn't cut through on the top piece of that fold. So that's the card base, and now what we need to do is to move on to the second stage. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my scoring tool to score this. I'm going to open up the card and I'm going to place the 2 points on one of the score lines, and I'm just going to run that through and score it. I still like to use the Kaisercraft ball tool for my scoring. I think it does a much nicer job. And I'm going to fold that forward, and as before, use the bone folder to give that a nice crisp fold. Now I need to take this to one step further. I need to actually create a stopper, because this will be the last card in our trio of cards. Now to create the stopper, I need to get the Big Shot back out. So I'm just going to zoom this back out. Big Shot's coming back up here again. Loading up my platforms just as before. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the little stoppers that you actually get in the flip cards. This is the circle flip card, but there's lots of them on the market now from Kaisercrafts. But I love this little guy for my actual easel cards, and I use this a lot. So all I'm going to do is I am going to position this towards the bottom of this here. So I'll just zoom that in. In the center, doesn't really matter where you position it, so as long as it's in the center, which I've got there, I'm going to put my top base platform on. I just want to make sure that this is straight, of course. And that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. And then I'm going to just roll that through. You can actually put your printing tape on there to hold that in place if you need to. Okay, so now I can put the Big Shot away. And just show you how my little easel works. So that's my stopper, and when I position this card here, you can see I've actually got a nice little easel card made up. So that's one of the cards. Now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and from our bracket set we need to cut one that size, just as we've done before, but without the stopper. The stopper only goes on the little baby one. So we need one of these. You can see I've actually cut as we did before, and I've folded. We need the next size down, and again I have gone ahead and pre-cut and folded. No stopper in the second one, so we need one of those. And the one that we have just cut, the third one, we need one of those, and that's the one that we just did, and the little one has the stopper. So I used the three biggest sizes from the die set. Now I also need to cut out some of the decorative papers. So from that same die set, I'm going to cut one of the flashy paper. That's the black with stars. Really pretty little paper there. So I need one of those. And I have got this paper here with the black and white writing, and that's called Sheen. I need one of those. And the little black dot on white background, which is called Classy, I need one of those. So that's really everything I need to construct my card. So let's look at how we go ahead and construct. Okay, so first up we're going to just compile our easels. I'll just move that out a little bit, and all we have to do is take the largest one, and with a pencil and a ruler we need to mark 1.5 inches down from the fold line. So you can see that I've got my fold line lined up with one of the lines on my Kaisercraft cutting mat, and I need to just make a pencil mark 1.5 inches down, just lightly, just like that. Okay, so about 1.5 inches down, and I'm going to do the same on the second size. So again, lining up the fold line here, so lining up the fold line and then just taking it down 1.5 inches, and then just doing a little pencil line across the middle there. That's going to be my guide for sticking down my pieces. So going back to the largest, what I'm going to do is take this one here, which is the second size, and I'm going to stick that down on top at that 1.5 inch mark. So just using my tape, okay, I'm going to position that at that 1.5 inch mark, and just have a little quick look down below to make sure you've got it balanced here in this center, just down here, so you can see that that's nice and balanced. Once you're happy with that, just burnish it a little bit and make sure you've got a good adhesion. We're then going to lift that one up, and now I'm going to take the little baby with the stopper and I'm going to stick that one down. So again, taking my adhesive, I'm going to put some of that on, and exactly the same, position it on that 1.5 inch mark, just making sure we've got it balanced down below, and then sticking that in place. Now that's all there is to actually making the foundation for this card. So when that's closed up, it's going to look like that, and what we now do is we then decorate the front. Now with the front, we've gone ahead, as you know already, and pre-cut our covers. It's important that we just adhere this on the bottom part of our card. So I'm going to pop some glue just down here at the bottom, and I'm going to stick the first one down. Okay, happy with that. Now I'm going to do the same with the second, which is the text one. So again, making sure we only need to glue this bottom section. So making sure the text is the right way up, popping that down and making sure that's adhered nicely. Now the third section is exactly the same, but I can't fold that all the way back up just yet. So again, just on the bottom and adhering the last one. Making sure we have a good burnish on that one. So that's basically our easel card. Just going back to the one that I've decorated here, you can see both of those are the same. Now just to show you how that works then, because we've only stuck the bottom bit, only the bottom bit will actually fold up. So we take the top ones and then finally the bottom one, which is stopped by our easel. So that's our easel card formation, all beautiful and ready for you to play with and decorate. Now you can make just a single easel card. On the blog post of Kaisercrafts, I've actually done a single easel card, which was just one of the big ones, and I used the Time Machine collection, which is absolutely beautiful, has a real masculine undertone to it, and that's just a simple straightforward single one in the big size from that nesting bracket die set. So you can see it's a really useful card set to have. Oh, it won't stay up, this little guy, because I'm holding it. Okay, just so you can have a look at that. So you can do single, you could do double if you wanted, but I've done a triple. So looking at how I've gone ahead and decorated this, I've put one of the beautiful decorative butterfly dies on here, and all I did was to cut this out in cheddar cardstock from Kaisercrafts as the base, and the top bit I actually did with vellum, and I used some Kaiser pearls to fill in the actual vein here, and I've scattered some lovely little rhinestones to twinkle amongst the stars at the top. On my next easel, what I've done is I have decorated those with elements from the collectibles in the particular range, and you can see there's lots of things that I could have chosen here to put on there, but I've chosen some stars to replicate the paper up here, this flashy paper as it's called. And then on the bottom easel, what I have done is I have taken a sticker from the sticker set, and let me give you this little tip here. I always have on my crafting table a little bowl, and believe it or not, this was once half full, and a little paintbrush. And the sticker set has all these absolutely gorgeous circles. So this is the sticker set from A Touch of Gold, and all I did here was to peel off one of those stickers. So let's say lots of love. So I've peeled off that sticker, and what I have done is I've taken it and I've actually what I call just talked the back. So this is just ordinary talcum powder. By brushing it at the back and brushing this onto the sticker, what I'm doing is I'm making it into a cardboard element rather than a sticker, and that means that now it's no longer sticky. And that's really good because it enables me to successfully raise that, or to pop it up with some of the Kaisercraft foam tape. So when you look at my particular one that I used the Best Wishes, you can see that that is actually dimensional. It's been raised up with tape to give it a little bit more interest. Now the other thing that you need to kind of notice here is that with this flower, the way I positioned it is quite important, because when this card closes, I want everything to slot in to each other. So I wanted this to slot behind the flower. So I've only glued the bottom part of the flower, so that enables that to happen. And obviously this one here will just sit there on top of it. The other thing as well, one more little thing, I've also positioned this leaf a little bit lower so that the half circle stopper will be covered and just slip behind that particular leaf. You can see with the mini blooms and the Kaiser flowers here, I've actually sprinkled them with glitter. One of my favourite techniques is spraying them with adhesive glue and sprinkling on fine glitter. And just across here, I've used some more of the printed tape. This is called Ornate by Kaisercraft, and it ties really nicely in with this Touch of Gold collection. And these leaves here are again glittered, and these are leaves that you can get from the Kaisercraft range, and there's a whole range of different sizes that you get in a little bag, and they're just beautiful to use on your cards. So that's my card. Hope you like it. It's quite a pretty little card, and I'm sure it's going to be very impressive for anyone that's wanting to have something a bit different or a bit special, a bit handmade. So I hope you've enjoyed my tutorial today and enjoy looking through the Kaisercraft blog. Head over to the Kaisercraft blog, you get lots of inspiration from the design team members. And until next time, my name's Colette. I will see you soon. Bye.